I used up all the money that I
How
had
much that
from
lens set you back?
a little more than $1,000.
Nice. Pocket change, really, eh?
It really wasn't a pocket change.
No.
Mowgli. Mowgli.
Do you want to be on the podcast?
Yeah.
Oh, he's
Got a
sniffing my
GoPro on
armpit
him.
now.
Get-
He's
get-
going around the back. Thanks for joining us on episode 2. Just a little bit of housekeeping. We do have Mowgli the dog, who does join us throughout the podcast. He does make a little bit of noise, but it doesn't take away from the great conversation I had with Tap. So sit back, relax, and enjoy episode 2. Hello, so welcome to episode 2. I'm joined here with Tap. How are you?
Not too bad. How are you doing?
Yeah, good, mate, good. So we've known each other. Well, I say known each other, but we've been in each other's DMs for approximately 3 years.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. You're
Yeah.
right. Yeah. It's right. Probably right when I started.
Yeah.
I think you started around the same time as I
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, me and you basically both got into it at the same time, and somehow or another we found each other through Instagram and then basically just started DMing each other.
That's it. Yeah, and I think it just worked, and you know, your style, my style, it kind of meets as well, and I like to think we both learn from each other. Where I remember your drone shot of a car.
Right.
I think it was in through a field, and you did kind of like a parallax.
Oh, right, yeah.
Thing, and I was like,
I know
whoa,
that.
what is that? You know, and that it blew me, and I was like, whoa, I like that. I like what you did there,
So
and it gave a nice effect.
How did you start off? What was your first bit of video equipment that you got that kind of got you in the on the road that you are now today?
So I started filming probably when I was 14.
Right, okay.
Yeah, around about 14, 15.
Yeah.
Where I took media or iMedia for my GCSEs.
Oh, right, okay, cool.
And I always had a thing with art. I remember my art teacher was not impressed when I said I'm not taking art for GCSEs. But I never thought art. I never thought art can be taught. It's like, if you feel it, that's what art is, and it's special to you.
Yeah.
Until I discovered filming,
Video,
photography, and I kind of started then. And my first kind of client was when I was 16.
Oh, right. So you're early starting then.
Yes.
Right,
yes.
Okay. So way before me then.
Well, I kind of started, and I'll get to like a little thing where I had a bit of a hiccup, and I had to kind of do what I needed to do for a while. But at 16, I had my first client. I got paid around £900.
Oh, that's all right for 16 years old.
I know, right?
You're lucky to get that now these days.
I know. So, but it was a lot of work. So they needed a website, a logo. And they also needed some photos and all the information and all their social media, LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So my brother, who's a very good a developer, software developer. So a website was like back of his thing. So I kind of came up with a number of different logo designs and what I thought would be very good. And they're still using it today, and they're called Education Supply Port, and they're a Newport-based company.
Right, okay.
And they're teachers recruitment company.
Right, okay, got you.
And when you log onto their website, the logo is still there, and they're still using it. So
stuff.
yeah, it's very not the same website. I think they had to keep up with it. But the logo is still the same, and yeah, it's just fantastic to know that I did something at 16. You know?
Yeah, that's the best thing, isn't it? When you see your own stuff still being used, or you actually see it there, like in front of you, like on the big screen or whatever. It's really nice to see.
It was incredible. And then I kind of hit a rough patch in A levels. I did do media, or did I do media? Can't remember.
It's so long ago.
Yeah, but I kind of did maths and English. Maths and science, as well as IT.
Yeah.
And media, and I did. I think I did performing arts, which was do not Google my name.
Dancing around.
Yeah, do not Google my name or YouTube my name, because I've got some embarrassing shit on there.
You're like Aladdin.
Yeah. No, actually, I think I was a Tin Man.
Oh, right.
It was embarrassing because I remember my funnel came off.
That's the last thing you need.
It was embarrassing, but yeah, do not Google my name or YouTube my name. but that's all right. I'm sure no one would find that.
Yes, old now.
But yeah, because I did maths and science, my options were quite open. So originally, I wanted to kind of fly planes and go down that route. And if this is before drones were invented, really.
Yeah.
So I did. I did 1.5 week of aeronautical engineering.
Right. Okay.
Then I was like, well, this isn't really for me. I want to fly planes. I don't want to learn about other stuff because it was just kind of a little bit out of my understanding at the time. So I went with the backup plan, which was being a civil engineer. So I just thought, you know what, screw it, let's do that. So I went into it, didn't really touch a camera at all. And in the meantime, I had a job as a sales rep, a sales rep. In sports direct, you sell.
Just like a general sales
person. Yeah. So I was in the shoes department. Yeah. And with my first salary that I saved up, I bought myself a Nikon D3200 because I really
Nikon.
Come on,
Nikon.
Come on,
Nikon.
No, honestly, right? For the time, at that time, it was the best camera to buy, brand new. That did filming and photography.
Right. Okay.
Seamlessly, and I used it.
So when did you buy that then? Just roughly.
I think around 2011, 12.
Right, okay. So then what freedom did that camera give you? Did it allow you to then go and book other clients, or you just kind of had it as a personal camera?
I wish I was that smart at the time, and I wasn't.
No.
I realized I missed that initial YouTube wave that went up, and now I'm literally just playing catch up, and I've got a lot of things on, and because of that, I just don't have the capacity to kind of keep up with I've got the skills because what I can do now, I could do when I was like 15, 16, and I'm like, wow. Right now, I feel a little bit backwards because all the people that are doing it, they are in the business. They are so focused. So I'm now 30 and I am trying to keep up with the youngsters. And I'm like, oh, hang on a minute. I can really
you got a full-time job as well. So it's like trying to weigh up both of the spectrums, whether you put more time into the video stuff, where it's going to take a lot of consuming your hours, especially in the evening.
It really does.
While you're still trying to do your full-time job at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. And even today, woke up at like 6, 7, took my dog for a walk, and I'm going, starting the work, turning off for half an hour, and that half an hour is all I take for myself. And then as soon as that work is off, one laptop shuts, the other computer turns on, and I'm on it, if it's not that, then I'm out. Like yesterday, I was out filming in Cardiff.
Right. Okay.
So I rarely get rest now
because you're weighing up 2 jobs.
Yeah. And I'm trying to see which one works best. I know what would work best if I put every 100% in, and I'm just in that transition phase at the moment.
So you bought your first camera at 16. When did you then take the next step to basically up your game and trying to make this bit more, full time?
So when I got the camera, I think for about 1 year, I was in it. I was really, I was using the camera every single day. I was waking up, I was taking photos on my little, little light up things I bought from eBay. And I was trying to light paint on a table. No one's seen these pictures. Okay?
No, you haven't released them.
They're just for me. And I started doing that. I started taking pictures, and then as soon as pictures went, I went to video. And back then, I was using After Effects and Twixtor. And
I still can't wrap my head around After Effects.
And this is what I'm saying. So I had that time. So when I was young, I was like, okay, this is what I've got. I don't have any responsibilities, and I was just doing it because I found it really fun. And the people that are now can do like special effects and stuff, and I was like, I used to do that back in the day, like like John Wick, like the muzzle flares and stuff like that. I was like in it.
You was doing that before.
Yeah, and I remember when you messaged me, I think I shared the RX-7 video.
Right. Okay.
And you were like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if you put lens flares and stuff on it. And then I was like, you know what?
Was that your motorbike one, or was that the car one?
The car one.
The car one.
A long time ago. I think this when we first started speaking.
It was like a retro Beetle. Was it like a retro Beetle in like a garage and setup of some sort? It was like
that was after. Before that, it was the RX-7.
Yeah. Was that the motorbike?
No, RX-7 the Mazda RX-7.
Oh, the Mazda, like the one that's in like Tokyo Drift and all.
Yeah, like that.
Sick, yeah.
Sorry, it was an RX-8. It was my mate Ashley's. Why do I keep saying RX-7? No, it was an RX-8. Really nicely modified.
But that was in like a multi-story car park kind of thing.
That was in Tesco's.
Was it?
Yeah.
Where, like, not far?
The Spitty, yeah.
Oh, was it?
So yeah, and I wanted to see what I could do with my skills.
Yeah.
So I took my electric skateboard out there with me, and that's why you can see like a really cool, smooth transition where he's driving. I'm on my electric skateboard. Like I somehow managed to like just super glue and your glue gun that you get. I just glued the remote onto the gimbal, and I was just using the gimbal and the remote of the skateboard at the same time trying to get the shots.
Multitasking.
Yeah, and I was using a 50 mil.
Okay,
so
tight,
it was very tight for me to get the right smoothness and all that. So I did do it. It was nice. But then as soon as you said, you know what, let's put
I think it was like anamorphic lens flares, but also putting flares within the actual headlights of the car as well. I said something about.
Yeah, that's it. And I was like, oh, you know what? I think that'll be very cool. So I did. Went back to After Effects and managed to
just do that.
Managed to do it, and it looked incredible. And I think it's on a lot of views on YouTube.
Yeah, it's doing my because my YouTube is awful. When I first started off, I was in my bedroom office, and I remember doing like a My Protein spec advert.
Yeah, I remember that.
And just like stupid stuff like that. Just trying to learn. I remember. Have you ever heard of Peter McKinnon?
Yes.
Yeah. So he was doing like.
So he rode that initial YouTube wave, which I missed.
He's mental. Well, that was years ago then.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. So when he went up, is when I focused on engineering, and I was like, I know I'm missing it.
Flowy black hair.
Yeah, that's it. So he wasn't big back then.
No.
And I was like, oh, I know. I didn't. In fact, he wasn't even on the radar. So some of the people that were on the radar, they're making movies right now.
Yeah.
So. And I don't know if Peter McKinnon is making movies.
No.
I'm sure he's making commercials and stuff.
He's doing something.
But I don't know if he's in the film industry yet. But people that I followed, they're making movies. They're in movies and they're really good at. Yeah, they're doing great. And that's the wave that I missed.
Yeah.
So yeah, sorry, continue.
So yeah, the Peter McKinnon. Yeah, well, one of the first videos I remember shooting with my camera was like a Peter McKinnon competition where. I can't remember the spec of it, but basically, me and my missus, I didn't even have a camera at that time. I'd still got the same iPhone I had now. It's like an XS Max.
Yeah.
And we done like a McDonald's spec advert, but the McDonald's was drugs being delivered to my car because it was just after COVID had finished or during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And the whole idea was me like getting a text from my drug dealer, but actually it was a bloke delivering me a McDonald's.
Nice.
And that's just like the first time I actually like tried to write a script or try to like plan the shots, but also I had to step in and act. I say act it as well, but literally there was a combination of me getting a text, walking down the stairs, jumping in the car, driving to a car park, and then getting a knock on the window, and then just a bag of a Big Mac just coming through the window, and then just me emptying change into someone's pocket. But that was the first time where I kind of enjoyed or tried to do the storytelling part of things. But ever since, to be honest with you, it's just kind of like running gun kind of shooting that I've been doing now.
Like, I remember my initial phase of filmmaking, and that was in school. So in my school, we had my predecessors in school, A-level people, and I was, year 10 or whatever. They did a film called Lanternum SWAT. SWAT. Sorry.
Okay.
It was super funny. They had like quirky humor. It was shit quality, but. The storytelling was incredible and I loved it. And I thought, you know what? I think I can make the next one, but I don't know if I would be able to create that storytelling.
Yeah, that's the hardest part. So do you think, going back to that, what you're saying then, the quality was crap, do you think someone like coming up into like maybe the industry that we're getting into, do you think they worry too much about the camera quality and like what spec the camera's shooting at?
I don't think anyone cares about the spec.
No.
They care. Personally, I think all they care about, can it film decent footage?
Yeah.
Can it film something that I can edit later?
Yeah.
Yes, then it's a tick box exercise. The camera is, I'm pretty sure, to any real filmmaker or photographer or anyone, it's a tick box. Can it shoot?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because they always say the cliche is the best camera is the one in your pocket. Isn't it?
No, yeah, whatever you've got available. Like, again, iPhone these days are incredible. Like the amount of footage, I if I've got my phone and I've got my dog with me, I'm just going for a walk. I just take my phone out, sometimes if I have my camera bag with me, I'm like, by the time I got the camera out, I've missed the moment.
I've been like that, and especially like, you can't be asked in public. Well, I'm not one for like getting like a big camera out in public. Then you're trying to shoot something, you feel like an absolute idiot with people like eyes on you. Like at least with an iPhone, you can get away with shooting what you want without the added pressure.
That's another thing we can get into at some point, because when you're just starting out, that's one of the things you have to deal with.
Yeah.
But we can get into it.
I still feel like that these days. But unless I like control the environment or I know there's not people around, especially with flying drones, I can fly obviously drones. You know, if there's people around within obviously the legal requirements. However, if there's people watching and they're like enjoying their surroundings and like enjoying the moment, whether they're watching a sunset,
and then they see a drone,
I'm like, I just don't want to take away from that moment And those kind of situations, I won't get the banging shot that I want to get purely because I don't want to take away from other people enjoying that.
So I get that in weddings.
Yeah.
Whereas,
weddings though, you're getting paid for the.
Yeah, I am. But
take it up with the bride and groom. Yeah,
I know, but for the reason why people pick me over other people is because I'm not. Like I don't say, oh yeah, stop this, whatever's happening, stop that right now, let me get the drone up, do this, do that, and then start again. No, I don't like doing that.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why people choose me is because I say, okay, how's your day looking? Is this how you're doing it? Can you give me half an hour here where I can do my stuff? And I just do, if I've got to take the drone out, then that's when I control. Yeah. Apart from that, if I've got a lot of people around and stuff, if I got time, I'll be like far, far away, and I'll get in a car park or something, and just get the drone out, and just if I do need to get close, I will follow the drone, and I'll just let people know that the drone's come in. Don't worry, just act normal, do what you need to do. But apart from that, I'm just like, no, screw it. I'm gonna do what I need to do. Get that. Be away from people. Just get a nice shot.
So, what you like flying it in public? If there's like a shot you want, and there are people around that maybe you don't want to interrupt.
I haven't been in that situation.
No.
No. Only when I'm like out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, and then they see it and they're like, oh, I don't want to be in it.
Yeah.
Like, you're not in it. Don't worry.
So, like, back to the wedding thing, because I've had some interesting experiences at a wedding. Like, I'm a bit like you, so I'll work around them and their day. But I had experienced ones with a photographer, and they were proper bossy, and there was a.
You don't want to name and shame them, do you?
No, I can't even remember their names, to be honest with you. But it was a man and wife combo, and I just remember them being like proper loud. Right, you go there, you go that. But then you could tell by the end of the evening, or like halfway through the day, when the evening guests were arriving, the actual two couple getting married were just on their last tether with these particular photographers.
Yeah.
But it makes you look better because obviously you're relaxed and you're calm, and your thing is, if someone takes control, like a photographer, then as a videographer, you can work around it.
Around them, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like you might just go off to the side of them by 2 foot, but then you can do a nice little parallax or just any like a little dolly zoom or anything with a gimbal.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have had photographers like that.
Yeah.
But I've also had photographers where they just keep to themselves.
Yeah.
So they and then before you know it, they just take the couple away, and I hate that.
Just disappear out.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, we're going to take photos." I was like, "Oh, you're not needed." I'm like, no, I am needed.
Yeah.
This is my time as well as your time, you know? Because then they would get them in these poses. So all I would do is as they're getting them into poses, there'll be that awkward moment between the couple where they're both looking at each other and laughing, like, what are we doing here, you know?
I just feel awkward. They don't do it usually, do they?
No,
So they're
they
just
don't.
not used to it.
Yeah, so they're not used to it. And that, to capture that as, you know, as an advice as well, to capture that in your wedding film is like, whoa, you know, I remember being awkward that day, you know, that was nice. And part of the thing as well, being a videographer for a wedding, is that you got to remember that you are there for the couple's memories and you're saving those memories.
Yeah.
As long as you do that part, your creative part, you will become so much easier.
Yeah, do that in the editing room then as well.
Yeah.
Because like you can plan the shots out as much as you want, like at a wedding.
It all goes to shit.
Yeah, it's just absolutely like. I think the whole time when I filmed this one particular wedding, there was 3 shots I wanted to get. I got all 3 shots, but it was only that one time throughout the whole day where I was able to get it. Because I said to the photographer, I said, you just, excuse me, I said, like, I just need 10 minutes alone with these guys. He was still there. Because then what did he go and do when they were doing the pose I done? They were walking in like a triangle formation with the groom at the front and then all the men down the sides. And what do you do? Boom, straight with his camera. He says, oh, this looks good. And then starts taking pictures. Mate, you need to get out the shot. Because the thing is with photos, you can take one snap and you've got it. But like with a video, it needs to be continuous, at least 5-10 seconds long.
Yeah, that's it. I think this is where you got to just have a chat with the photographer and just be like, yo, chill. You can be, you know, you use your zoom lens or whatever you've got. You
just stay back.
Just stay back. I can't. All I use is primes.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all I have. So I've got a 20, 50, and 105. I do have a 35, which I broke last week. I'm gonna try and fix it. I was gonna try and fix it today, but I just didn't have time.
Yeah.
But I will. Excuse my dog.
What's his name?
Mowgli.
Say hello, everyone, to Mowgli.
Hi, Mowgli. Good boy. Good boy.
If you're hearing a little squeaking in the background, that's Mowgli just chilling out with us as well. We should have got a dog cam as well.
Oh, wouldn't that be cool?
Just a little GoPro.
I think next time, you know what? I've got a little chest mount for him. We can put a GoPro on him. But yeah, basically, you know, just tell him to just chill.
Yeah.
To be like, use your zoom lens. Let me do what I'm doing. 90% of the time, photographers are quite chilled. Yeah. Anyway, but then you will get one of those odd ones where they won't speak to you. Even when you're having food or something, they'll sit on a separate table. And I'm like, oh, what have I done to you? Like,
so nothing. How many weddings have you done? I've only done 2. I tried to not do them. The money's good.
I think you're right.
But I've only done them for friends and family.
So take my advice and don't get into it. Yeah. If you want to continue down to improve, it is a good thing to do. So yeah, some photographers, they just sit in their own little thing, own little headspace, and they don't talk to anyone. Yeah. And that's how they are. And you've just got to deal with it. And you're like, okay, I'm sitting here at a wedding. I'm the only videographer here. You're the only photographer here.
Let's try and work together as best we can.
Let's have a conversation, maybe. Just say, how you doing? Yeah. Are you all right? Or, you know, how's life?
Yeah, like how's things? Like, yeah, because the thing is, you're both within the same industry and you're trying to both get the same thing out of it. You both want to make the client happy. You just got to work together. We're not slating photographers by all means.
No.
Because you're a photographer as well.
Yeah.
I'd dabble in it if the money's right. But it's just obviously, it's a high pressure day for everyone, isn't it? And you just want to be just as equal as... I think people having weddings prioritize photos over video.
Not anymore.
No?
No. Now I have 2-3 wedding clients who are prioritizing video over photos. Yeah. They love my photos. They absolutely love it. And they love the way I edit, and they love the way I kind of showcase the day. Yeah. So that's what they buy into. And nowadays, I think everything, like not just the wedding industry, but every like businesses, everyone, they're going into video because of social media. When's the last time you wanted to cook something and you picked up a book and read it? This is what I need to do. You're like, YouTube, bang, that's how it's done. And not even YouTube. You got these fucking TikTok shorts, and you're this is how it's done.
Save the recipe, go back to it later on.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what they do. Like 10, 20 second, the whole thing's there.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, this is how I'm going to film. Sorry, not this is how I'm going to film. This is how I'm going to cook or whatever, you know. Everything is moving into a video, whether that's, cooking to whatever business want to sell anything. They need to be able to have a video to showcase how the product is, to make it as visually appetizing.
Do you feel like a lot of businesses then don't realize yet the power of video? Because a lot of time I see when you see someone's website, they always think first thing I need first is photos. But really, a hero video on the top of your website 9 times out of 10 is way better and more engaging than a photo.
Absolutely.
But I feel like trying to get that through to clients, there's literally every single business out there could theoretically, doesn't matter what they do, theoretically could have a video for their company, but they just maybe not rely so heavily on photography, but that's their first point of call is to get photos. Do you agree with that?
I think so. I think I do agree with that, because that's all they're looking for.
Yeah.
Even because they just want something out there. They know videos take time, they take effort. Then they would say, oh, whether that video is right, oh, whether it's wrong. And you're like, it's a video. You're not going to be that critical of a photo. If you have a photo, you're not going to say, oh, well, I didn't want that there. I didn't want this to be looking like this. I wanted it to be a little bit brighter. I wanted it to be a little bit darker in here. Well, no, a photographer is going to take a photo of, let's say you're photographing a new build development, and you're like, okay, this is how it's going to do. You know, the day was cloudy or whatever. In Photoshop, you can make it as, nice bright and whatever, or whatever. But you're not going to say, well, that brick there is broken. Yes, I can change it, but I didn't notice it on the photo, but the client notices it, and he goes, oh, wow, that brick's need changing. And you're going to be like, oh, yeah, it needs changing. But a client is not going to look at it in that detail.
No, yeah.
For an initial photo. It's never going to happen. Whereas on a video, they'll be like, I don't like that, because a video needs to flow. But what I think there needs to be a little leeway between an initial video and delivery of that. So initial video doesn't matter. It's a video. It's out there. It's something. Something is better than nothing. In
it's
that
like the
respect.
company's first video. It doesn't matter. Kind of
it
thing.
Doesn't. No. It.
The next steps further down the line, it becomes more professional.
It becomes professional. Yeah. So the videographers. Obviously, you can have a professional videographer come in and charge you 30-40 grand and do an amazing job. Great. They're going to have.
I wish I was charging 30-40 grand.
Yeah, but there are people who do.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So if you don't mind, I'll name it. I don't know if they do charge this much or not.
Yeah.
I don't. But they are amazing. I know that, and I do follow them, and I've worked with them.
I wonder if you're going to say the same people. Like, are they Welsh based?
Content creators.
Yeah, Swansea. Yeah.
Absolutely.
They're sick.
They are incredible.
But in all fairness, they've got an actual team in theory.
They do. So they've got this team, and not just that, the way they work and the way I've seen them like physically.
I've never met them. I just seen their stuff, and it just looks like
the two main guys, the videographer and the photographer. Yes, they have the kit. Number one, yes, they have very, very decent quality kit.
Yeah,
but they know how to use it well to get what they need to get to, whether that's a live event, whether that's commercial, or whether that's controlled. I follow them. And
like, if you do see their stuff, obviously after you've watched this podcast and had a listen, if you go and see it, they don't use a ton of equipment. It's just used and lit really well.
Really well. So they light it really well, and I've seen them. So they would use like F11,
right, okay.
But it would be so well lit, and it would look so good on that monitor. And all the guys using is a 50mm, right? And it's not even amazing 50mm. It's just a regular 50mm, and sometimes he's using just a regular 35mm, and he's getting these shots on a decent camera. But he's getting amazing shots, and you look at that, and I learned so much just by being with them.
Where was that to then?
So this was last year. I was at Glastonbury with them at Panhard Hill Farm.
Little drop there. Was a Glastonbury filming. Yeah.
I wasn't there for Glastonbury.
Yeah.
I was there for a bar provider, which was the Fizzy Pheasant, and they are Amazing.
Because you filmed there last year or took photos there last year, and you were there again this year as well.
No, I wasn't there this year. No.
Or were they back there this year?
They were definitely.
Because I remember seeing it last year, and I seen you there and them there.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh,
so
coincidental.
So I was there for the fizzy. Let me get it right. The Fizzy Pheasant. So they are like a bar providers, and they do weddings, they do events.
It's like an event industry kind of led bar on wheels kind of thing.
Sort of, yeah, but they're a bit more than that. They're a bit more professional. They build their own bar depending on what the client wants.
Custom.
And also they have amazing group of bartenders.
Okay, cool.
And they've got their in-house web designer. They've got a graphics designer. And so their product looks really, really good. Not only that, their photos look really good as well, and they are trying with the
photos that you took. Or?
Yes,
yes, they are my photos.
But not even that. While I was there, I actually showed them how to like make whatever they take look decent. So they
with a camera of any sort.
With an iPhone, and also you can make it look really nice. You just do that, just a concept, and that's it. So I did that, and that was actually the first time I've got this 85mm. So
you looked down that 85. I looked down down that one over there.
Sorry, 105.
Yeah, 105. I'm on the 85.
Yeah. So I've got that, and that was the first shoot I did with that lens because I bought it and I thought I'm gonna need something special here,
like
just
with that bokeh in the background.
Yeah,
that deep.
I need something
spicy.
Yeah. So I used up all the money that I had.
How much that lens set you back?
A little more than $1,000.
Nice pocket change, really. Eh?
It really wasn't a pocket change. I was minus 2,000 at that time.
Nice.
So, but yeah, it's 100% worth it. So that lens, it kind of set my footage
apart
from the rest.
Yeah.
But content creators were there at the same time, and I felt so unprofessional in front of them because they had the light. They had something like this that I've got now.
So what's that? Just so people listening.
So I've got a Godox video light, and it comes with a battery attachment,
like a running gun
thing, and I can use it wherever I want.
No mains power required.
No,
you can use it.
No, anywhere I need to, and it lasts for about an hour and a half, maybe more. And then if it goes off, you just change the batteries, and it's your backup.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I think looking at them, I thought I definitely need a light, because until then I was just using like a wand light.
So you didn't have that light at the time?
No. I didn't even have the A7S at the time. Right, okay. So I had the A7 III. Right. Which
there's nothing wrong with the A7 III. Our main camera's the A7 III.
Yeah.
It's a workhorse.
I tell you, it's the best.
Still my bread and butter right now.
It's people slate this camera on YouTube and stuff.
They?
Yeah. And I'm like, hang on a minute. A7 III, still, I shoot wedding photos with that camera.
Oh, yeah, you can get it.
And it is incredible. It's incredible. Like, it's light. It works.
Yeah.
It doesn't disappoint unless it's a really hot day.
Yeah, or the only thing I find with the A7, if I'm shooting a lot of bars and nightclub stuff, the low light, especially if I want to shoot S-Log 3, the low light capabilities in it, and you want to shoot like 120, the noise can be really bad in the blacks.
Yes,
but that's just you got to adapt to your conditions.
But
you can kind of put a light on at the same time.
I would just use S-Cinetone with A7 III.
Yeah, not the S-Log.
No, I don't use S-Log.
I'll give that a go. See, that's the whole reason why I got you on this podcast. There's still things I need to learn.
Yeah, so I think so. This is another thing I learned from another videographer.
Yeah.
Who's Cumbrian based. He is called...
Yeah, go on, get him up.
I will get him up. He is incredible as well.
Yeah.
Different style than content creators.
Right, okay.
Oh, bloody hell. He's the reason why I have A7 III and the kit, because I asked him and he was like, yeah, this is all you need.
Because, I'm dying to get the FX3.
Just get A7...
FX3
A7S3.
Sexual.
Yeah, A7S3 is effectively FX3 in a different body, bro.
I know the FX3 though has been approved by like Netflix and like filmmakers. Have you seen the new?
Oh, I can't find them. I'll have a look later.
The new
got it.
IMAX film that's just been purely shot on the FX3.
No, I haven't. What's it called?
I found it earlier. Oh, you absolute! I found it earlier. I come across. I might have screenshotted it.
Okay.
So I thought it'd be a good talking point. But I'll have a look now quickly. It's been basically a full IMAX for the first time. Film has been filmed using the FX3. But I can't find it now because I stupidly haven't.
Well, if they can
it.
do it, we can do it with it.
But if I find it, I'll put it up on the screen by here, or I'll put it in the link below. But basically, because if you didn't know, the FX3 has been approved by like Netflix and like films, basically as like the smallest camera you can use on a film set. But they've just filmed an IMAX film of it, and it looks sick.
I'll have a look at that.
It looks
I will
sick.
have a look at that. I think.
I'll see if I can. You go on. You keep talking. I'll try and hotspot this laptop now. See if I can find it.
I just think Netflix and people like that. I think it's done really good for short filmmakers and filmmakers to kind of give them something to go and film something and see if you can do a good job. However, I think the main cinema experience, they are now taken a big hit, because you've got these really good videographers and cinematographers and storytellers. Extraction is a great
that's filmed and all that as well.
Yeah, but the guy, he was just a cameraman, and he was like, I work really hard for this, I can be a director, and he made the Extraction look incredible.
The thing is, as a videographer, we are theoretically everything. We're grippists or whatever they call themselves, like lighting
Focus
people,
pullers,
focus plus ACs. So like you're everything.
We are
because
everything,
you're running everything. You might not be equal and good at everything equally. Like your main skill is going to be how to point and shoot the camera or maybe edit. But theoretically, you've got a little bit of all of those aspects within your arsenal to like deliver a client a video that obviously they might have seen on your portfolio.
Yeah, absolutely. So another thing is, if you're just starting out, you have to get better at everything.
Yeah, which is hard to do when you haven't got that much time.
Yeah, but it takes working every single day to be better at. So in terms of using the camera, I can use the camera. So for example, I will not just go out tomorrow and buy a camera, then learn how to use it.
Okay.
I've never done that.
No.
So the day I had the A7 III, that I knew how to use it, be out of the box, as in I took it out of the box, I put the settings exactly how I wanted it, and I took it out to a client shoot that very day.
Right, got you.
Just before that, I had the A7 Mark 1. That was my original.
So A7 Mark, they're smarter.
So, but the original A7.
It's hard to keep up, people. It's hard to keep up.
So I had the A7 Mark 1.
Yeah.
And I sold it to get the A7 III.
Right.
But the A7 Mark 1, again, exactly the same thing. I bought the camera and I knew how to use it because I researched the fuck out of it.
YouTube. I've done the same. I literally sat down for an hour with the camera on my lap watching a YouTube tutorial of like how to custom all the buttons exactly where you wanted them. Because when you go onto an actual shoot, it's an absolute pain in the arse searching through that menu button. If you
A7 III is horrible.
It's ridiculous.
It is horrible menu to get used to. But once you're used to it, it's not too bad. But well, again, we had trouble today, didn't we?
Well. Yeah, well, only because I wasn't used to your camera. That shows example. We have both the same cameras, but your camera wasn't set up how I use my camera.
No, it's just totally
and
different.
I know where my functions are, and obviously you know where your functions are. But obviously every camera is going to be,
Wait, I don't know where my functions are.
No, you just didn't spend the time to do that camera then.
No, I didn't. I just literally went, this is for my video, this is for my photos, and bang, it's done.
Yeah.
That's it. I didn't look at anything else. I didn't need it. In fact, I didn't have time because the day I sold it, the day I had a shoot, so I sold my A7 Mark 1. This was arriving at 12 o'clock, and at 4 o'clock I had a shoot. So I was like, I need to know how to use a camera as soon as possible. So
just chuck it straight into that video mode.
So literally, so I went on YouTube. I was like, this is what I need. This is the best outcome I can have. And the guy, I remember his name, Bourbon and Blush film.
Right, okay.
Unbelievable. So they are, I think, Cumbrian based,
right,
but they do everything. So they do like high-end weddings and they do photos and videos. Again, in a way they're my competitors, but they're not.
Technically, you're my competitor.
Yeah, but they're not.
Is.
But they in this industry, it's so nice to have someone like Bourbon and Blush.
Yeah.
So those guys, I've seen them work, and they were so helpful. The guy, I can message him now and say, "Bro, I'm struggling with this," and he's like, "Not a problem, bro. This is what you need to do." And he kind of led me on to. He said, "You know what? Just get an A7 III. Stick it on S-Cinetone, and that is plenty. It's good enough for a photo. It's good enough for a video. That will do you for now, and then you see what you can do." So I was like, you know what? Yeah, absolutely, I'll do that. So with his guidance, I was like, I'll fully trust it. He
spent your money for you.
And he was like, you know what? I'll do that. But he told me different lenses to get, and I didn't. I don't have the money to buy those lenses, but I kind of do have a style as well because I like primes a lot more.
He was shoot on a lot of primes. Like
that's all I have.
I've got one which when I first started off, I didn't realize, but I ended up buying a Sigma 16mm. It was an APS-C lens.
It's good, good lens.
But the thing is, I chucked it on the full frame, and then by the time you have to crop in, it's like 24.
Yeah,
24
mil. Perfect.
So there's last things you got to learn, like as you go through it. Quickly, that film is called The Creator.
Ooh, okay.
An IMAX movie shot entirely on the FX3, and they've just released a trailer. But I think there's a lot of CGI in it as well. Looking at this,
that's all right.
But it's well worth.
I will check it out. I will check it out.
The budget was 80 million.
Huh. And they use FX3.
This 80 million US movie was shot by a cinematographer with the help of DP and ACs and all that on the FX3. The first time an IMAX movie is shot on a consumer mirrorless camera.
Fair enough.
So theoretically, if you're watching this at your bedroom and you want to get into it, you could be there in the next 5 years.
No.
No?
No, because they're saying they shot it on the FX3.
The FX3, yeah.
What they're not saying is the lenses that they were using on that camera.
Could be like a 20 grand lens.
No, 20 grand lens. I'm talking they're probably using 40 grand lenses on that. So imagine. So the reason why I know this is because So again, the way I got into filmmaking, and I forgot to mention, is that I did. I entered a competition for a photo competition or something, or a video competition. When I was 16, before going into uni, before deciding that I wanted to do civil engineering or aeronautical or whatever. But I did a competition, I won it, and there's a film school called Met Film School in London. Do check them out, but they're privately run, and I think graduate course is 2 years full-time filmmaking. Not full-time filmmaking, 2 years filmmaking course.
Yeah.
And it's 20 grand a year. Flat
to do it?
To do it. And you have to do Monday to Friday. So you're
like
in a studio.
Is that A-levels kind of?
No. This is degree plus.
So like uni vibe then.
Yeah, so the guy who teaches you was shooting like Coca-Cola commercials, Heineken commercial,
nice.
And all that. And he's done films and etc. He's probably on films now. He's done documentaries for Discovery Channel and David Attenborough's, and so the guy teaching you is
shit hot.
He is the best of the best. So anyway, I'm there, and he's like, if you ever want to come back, there'll always be a seat for you. And apparently they run out of seats quite fast. So I was like, oh, well impressed with that. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
He said, yeah, you've got the eye. You can really do it. And I was like, well. Yes, I know I've got the eye. Just do I have the 20 grand in my pocket to kind of give you to say, yes, I have the eye. Please teach me more.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't. So I kind of, because I didn't have that, I kind of took it as upon myself to kind of say, I've got it. I've got to believe in myself.
Is that when you fully started?
No, is when I realized.
You wanted to?
Yeah, I wanted to.
And that was actually make money off it?
No, actually. Money side came afterwards.
Okay.
It was the initial thought of, I am good enough for this. I wanted to prove to myself that I don't need to go to uni to do filmmaking. It was like some of my friends went to uni, and not gonna lie, I did a couple of like final year projects for them.
You don't have to whisper.
Sorry,
but I can still hear everything.
I did a couple of final year projects for them, and they they had like 95% plus. And I was like, well, if I did a couple of final year projects for them, like filmed it, edited it, cut it, whatever, shot it.
Trying to say to you then, obviously it took you that to believe in yourself. Like if there's people starting out now
Yeah.
and they're not believing in themselves because they don't think their footage or their photos aren't good enough, what would you say to them to basically try and give them that kick or that push that they need?
Work hard. I mean, you got to work ridiculously hard. Every day,
Yeah.
right? Every day I was filming something, not for others, for me to prove that I can be better tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'd be like, shit, that was wrong. What can I do next time I'm out? And next time I'm out is tomorrow. So I go out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Whether that's a little bit here, a little bit there, whatever it is, whatever I shoot, I think about it in my head constantly. You gotta be a little bit insane. I'm not
You're there
lying.
cause like for me, I'm there till 2:00 in the morning. My missus sleeping next to me, just like editing away, just editing, keep editing.
Yeah, but it's more than that. It's when you're like, I don't want to do this anymore, and that's when you go.
Do you mean your full-time job or the filming? You don't want to do it
The
anymore?
filming, you're like, I am tired. I don't want to do it, and then you're like, hold on. If I sleep now, what if that next 10 minutes that I work on it, and I'm like, okay, it's not getting anywhere. And then I'm like, okay, let's work a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's still not getting anywhere. Let's work a little bit more. It's like, is that working? And then you're like, no, this is not working. And then you delete the whole fucking timeline. And then you start again. And then you're like, whoa, I know where I was wrong. And then you start. And then that's where the work is. And then you start and then you get to a point where you're like, this is it. I've got it. And then you edit it, and then you render a rough cut, and you watch it on the big screen, and then you're like, I think I've got it.
Yeah.
Little tweaks here and there, and it's done.
Critique yourself quite a lot now. Do you still look at your own work?
But you have to.
Do you still look at your own work and compare it to people that might have like been in the industry for years? You think, oh, like I can do that, but why is my stuff not turning out as good as that? No,
I don't look at it that way. No? I look at it in terms of what I'm trying to execute. Because then, if you're always trying to compare it, then why not compare it to Christopher Nolan's films? Because if you're comparing your footage with others, well, A, others may not have the same environment as you. 2, they don't have the same kit as you.
Yeah.
3, they maybe have a different vision to you. So if you compare yourself always with other people's footage, I don't think that is a very good way of doing things. You've got to think about, hang on a minute, before I started to shoot, this is what I wanted. Am I getting that at the end? No? Well, what has changed? Okay, maybe this was changed. Maybe the client wanted something else. Maybe the environment wasn't right. Maybe the lighting wasn't right. Maybe there were too many people. Maybe you were using the wrong lens. So there's lots of different factors that you have to take into consideration when you are comparing your stuff. End of the day, all you could do is you got to think about it in terms of creativity of your own.
Yeah, you can make your own style from it, really, can't you?
You can.
You can do what you want.
You can. And the way I kind of have it now, but I don't know yet.
Yeah.
I'm still working on it. So what I would suggest is a focus on what you like to shoot and how you like to edit, and then do the same thing again.
What do you like to shoot? What is your go-to? Do you know what I shot last year? I went to the Tram Shed and shot for a band.
Mm-hmm. I did see that.
For Death of Honor.
Yeah, I did see that.
And to be honest with you, that was a free gig. I'd done that completely free because I wanted to build my portfolio.
Yeah.
And I didn't have anything like that on my portfolio. So I went there for free. I was only there for 4 hours. Mm-hmm. However, it was one of the most enjoyablest things I've ever shot in my life. Just I went run and gun and just literally shot it all handheld. But it was when I was editing it, because it was shot in a professional environment, i.e. it wasn't your local community stage with a little rock band do 16-year-olds and they're all pulled together. It was actually on a proper stage, correct lighting, a full-on crowd. When you come to edit that and you actually look at it visually,
it looks good.
I personally thought it looked sick.
Yeah, it does look good.
That was one of the most favourite projects I've ever shot, and that was all for free.
That it's some of the stuff you do, because you're doing it for free, you put in more effort in.
Yeah.
To kind of say, I'm putting in more effort in because I know later on in life, when someone asks me, oh, how much is, a live shoot like that going to cost me? You go, it'll be 2,500, please.
Yeah.
And it's, only for 4 hours? You're just going to give me like a 3-minute video? Yeah, 4,000, 2,000,
even
whatever,
Literally 2 weeks ago, maybe just before festival season start, I sat down for 3 days and literally trolled all the way through Google and found every PR and every info email for every single festival in the UK. Because I thought, right, I really enjoyed doing this gig shoot. This is technically a video, not festival orientated, but it is music and it is a bit of a portfolio. I spent 2-3 days Googling every single festival in the UK to try and get bookings just so I can go and do it. I did have some come back. Obviously, others didn't see it. Others already had videographers filled in. But if you are looking to maybe get into an industry, is what I'm saying, whether it be music or corporate kind of stuff, you can go and film that stuff for free, and then you can put that up on your website as your own content.
Oh, absolutely.
No one's going to take that away from you. And I enjoyed that process so much that maybe I can then go and use that video in the future to go and then book another client. Because I can say, look, go on my website and have a look what I shot. And they go, actually, that's really good.
Yeah.
We wanted you to shoot something very similar for us.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the way to do it. What I will say is when you I know you asked me for the go-to settings, I think. So for the go-to settings, do you mean like with a camera or?
What do you mean now? Like when you're shooting
when
in
you're
the
starting
dark?
out, I think you said when you're starting out. So when you're starting out, what do you mean? Do you mean in terms of what my kit is, or do you mean what in terms of my camera kit?
So say for example, you're just starting out now and you've got £1,000 to spend on equipment.
Right.
What would you buy? What camera would you buy? And what bits would you get to basically start making your first bit of income as a photographer or videographer?
As first bit of income? Or
so basically you've got £1,000 in your bank, you want to buy yourself a camera and all the little accessories to basically start charging clients money. Where would you go and what equipment would you buy for that?
I'm going to go against my Sony love.
Oh,
and
I know exactly what camera I'd go for.
I'm gonna go against my Nikon love as well. Okay. I don't care what you say.
You're gonna go Canon.
I'm gonna go for a
Panasonic.
No, I'm gonna go for a Canon.
Right.
Something that is versatile with photos and videos is going to be a crop sensor camera.
Right. Okay.
But the thing that I would invest in is decent lenses. Right? They don't need to be full frame lenses. They could be manual lenses or something, but something that is cheap enough for me to buy secondhand. So
would you say if you're going to buy your first ever camera, go secondhand or brand new?
Secondhand,
yeah.
Just get something. So if I could get an A7 III for £500, I would buy A7 III for £500.
What Canon would you get then? Do you know the Canon?
No idea, but there's
they got
so many.
They got the 50 Mark II, which is quite a good one, and they got like the.
So something that does photos and something that does 4K videos at 25 or 50 is something that I can slow down just to make it look a little bit cinematic or whatever. So that's what I would do. Even if it does 1080p, 100 frames per second, I'll take that any day. So it needs to, for me, it needs to do that. It needs to have a little bit of good low light quality, capability. And nothing's going to be as good as like the Sony's. It's just not right.
Unless you go top end.
Unless you go, top end Canon, top end Nikon, like the Z9.
Nikon.
The Nikon Z9.
Yeah. I don't know any Nikon. Nikon's.
No, they're good. They're good. I will say.
So you bought yourself a camera.
Yeah.
The Canon. What else are you gonna get?
I'd get a couple of decent autofocus lenses.
Okay.
They don't need to be anything more than £80 to £100. You can buy something secondhand for them.
Are you talking like every kind of focus angle? So are you talking like get a 16 prime and then maybe like a 50?
Yeah. So you need something wide.
Yeah.
Right. You need 50 mil. And you don't need anything else.
Right. Okay.
That's all I would say. You need something wide, and you need a 50 mil.
Yeah.
If you're gonna start off anything, obviously don't use a kit lens. You can, but don't use
rocking a kit lens. You've got it over there. I was rocking that for about a year and a half.
It's
mad to think what a bit of glass can do. I'm still rocking the same body, but the glass.
But that is a full frame kit lens.
Yeah.
Right.
I was rocking that for a long time.
A crop sensor kit lens is practically useless, I think, in terms of like if you're going to make money from it, it's not going to look decent. It'll look all right. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. If you can make it look amazing, but the functionality of that fast autofocus and stuff like that you're going to struggle with. Yeah. So if you are going to go with something, if you want to make money from it, buy yourself a decent crop sensor camera, whatever cheap-ish that you can buy.
I would personally recommend the Sony A6400.
Yes.
I was looking, because someone basically on Instagram asked me this question. I said, we're going to discuss it tonight in today's podcast today. And I quickly eBayed. You can get a nice Sony A6400 for about £700 with the kit lens.
Hang on. I had the A6000 or something. Or 6...
That's 1080, that one, isn't it? Anything from...
No, it does 4K. The one I had, it didn't have the touchscreen.
Right.
But it did 4K, and I got it for my ex-wife. So I was like, you know what? That'll be like my second body when I had the A7 III.
Yeah.
I thought I'll have that as the second body and use that for like just a tripod mount camera for another angle.
Like a second camera.
Yeah, exactly. So I had that, but thing is with me, I had great lenses. So I had full frame lenses on it, so it's going to look really like the low light capabilities are going to be amazing on that. But if I use that little kit lens on it, it was useless. It looked really shit.
So you've got your camera sorted, you've got a wide, and then you've got like a
50 mil. That'll do. That would do.
What else are you buying as a videographer? Would you go gimbal, or would you just go straight up tripod?
You need a tripod.
Yeah.
That's whether that's a cheap tripod or whether that's really expensive tripod. It doesn't matter. So it needs to be something that's decent, stable. I'm not going to put a price to it. If you can find something secondhand from eBay or even like
just go secondhand,
like garage sale or something, just buy something secondhand and that'll do.
One tip for people who look to buy cameras, usually they put the shutter count on, like if they're selling it secondhand. Shutter count is basically like miles on a car. Yeah. The more shutter counts the camera has, technically it means the more photos or the times the shutter is flickered to grab that image. So the lower shutter, the less miles on a car. That's just a tip.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one thing to look out for. I mean, if you can get a decent Sony compact camera, great. But I think just Canon just beats that.
Like the budget kind of friendly kind of stuff,
and also the quality. I'm not gonna lie. It does. Like
on the cheaper stuff or
on the cheaper stuff.
Right, okay.
On the cheaper stuff. You
redeemed yourself there.
Hold on. You go. Let's say you go £1,000.
Yeah.
For a camera body, nothing's gonna beat Sony.
Unless you got the A7 6400.
Yeah, but that's not gonna beat A7 III, is it?
No, but the A7 III, I think they're second hand about £1,000 start.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. So if you do a second hand, let's say you have if you're going to spend £1,000 on a no, I know, but if you're going to spend £1,000 on a Sony, on a camera, just body alone, nothing will come close to that A7 III mark.
Oh, no, get that full frame.
You got the full frame. You get 4K footage at 60 frames per second, I think maximum, but I think over here it's like 50 if you whatever, because of the lighting.
But then you get 120 at 1080, which, to be honest with you, most clients, if you edit their stuff,
plenty,
you give it to them in 1080, they won't know any different.
No, you don't notice a difference, and you know what? You can probably upscale to 4K when you're rendering that, and it's pretty damn good.
So you've got camera, you've got the lenses. You're going to go tripod or gimbal?
Tripod. Right, you need one.
Yeah.
And if you can find a second-hand gimbal within that price budget, and if you still have money left over, I'd just buy a second-hand gimbal.
Yeah, because I had a quick look on eBay earlier. A second-hand Ronin S was like £180.
I would go cheaper. I would really
Zhiyun.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not a brand person right now.
No.
And I've come to know that as long as it works, you've got to learn how to use it. So like I said before, if you're going to buy a kit, you need to know how it works to get the best out of it. Whether it's, I don't know, DJI gimbal or what? Zhiyun. Yeah. Zhiyun or any other brand. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. As long as it works, it can handle the weight of the camera. You just got to make it work for you. I remember I didn't have a gimbal.
No,
I didn't. Right, I didn't have a gimbal. You know what I did? I had these old, like in a car, you put these monitors behind like the seat. You had these plastic, like little panels.
Lost me.
Basically, like back in the day, if you wanted like a car,
Back in the day,
if you were like a child and you have like a monitor in the back of the seat
to watch TV
or
I know what
DVDs
that is. Yeah.
So some of them, they came with like a clamp that goes onto the headrest,
right?
And then the monitor kind of clips onto that, and that is the same as the tripod mount.
Right, got you.
So I had some lying around.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I'll use them. I'll screw it onto skateboard wheels.
Right, okay.
So now I can mount my camera onto a skateboard wheel, and that is my dolly sorted.
The only thing is, if you turned up on set or for a client,
But what I did, I sprayed it black.
Right, okay.
So I sprayed the whole thing black, so it looks it looks great, right? It didn't look pro, but what happened is that if I like on a table, it's a dolly shot, but if I held it right like that, and I could just do that, and I could get a nice smooth, and it if I held it by the wheels, it was really good. And then I could do like this kind of, I know it looks wrong, I know, but I could like twist the camera, and the whole thing would do that in a slightly better angle or whatever. So kind of mimicking gimbal, but using my body to do it. But back in the and again, I'm saying back in the day, a lot. I also bought a manual gimbal.
Right,
so you just balance the gimbal on top.
It's like a counterweight at the bottom.
Counterweight at the bottom. So I bought one of them, and they were like 45 quid, and that was a lot of money.
They're hard to try and use, apparently. I've never got one, but like to apparently nail that, they're harder than an actual gimbal.
It's very hard, but I managed to do it. I got that, and I was using that.
Yeah.
But not for everything. I still prefer a handheld look sometimes.
Yeah, it's funny. You buy all this equipment, and you think, I need the latest gimbal. I need the best thing.
You don't.
There are certain clients or certain things that you will film where, like, say for property example, I use a gimbal a lot because they want the smooth shots coming through the doorways and stuff like that. But then 9 times out of 10, when I want to film stuff that I personally enjoy filming, I will go handheld.
Yeah.
Just because it looks sick.
It looks, you got so much control. You know what I did yesterday? I call this lens destroying. Okay,
right, okay.
Not lens destroying. Sorry, sensor destroying or camera destroying thing. So what I do is I stick the camera. Right, this is a trick for all of you. If you've got a lens that you can flick onto the manual mode onto the lens itself, what you can do is you can leave the camera on. Don't press record yet. Dismount the camera. Dismount the lens. Right. So you've got a little bit of light between the lens and the sensor.
I heard someone call this lens whacking or something.
I don't know what the term is, but I've done it for a long time.
Right, okay.
And it looks fucking sick.
It looks class.
Yeah, so I've done it.
So the lens is not fully mounted?
So lens is not fully mounted, okay?
Right.
So what I sometimes do is I get somebody, so that one light that I've got, I basically, so I use that one light. So I take that off and I get just someone to just hold that light and just move it like this. Okay. So while I'm there, and if I'm using the manual focus, I'm going like that. And sometimes the lens is completely off because I'm trying to get that warping kind of weird look so sometimes what happens is that the hands would be in focus here because the camera, like the lens is like twisted and the sensor's looking at odd places. The eyes are sometimes also in focus, so I could have like the hands and the eyes all in like focus, but everything else is like mental, super blurred. And then with that light coming in, it looks flared.
So what would you use that situation for?
So music videos, I've used it in music videos, product shoots.
Right.
You can do, if you're in like I said, in a darker environment and you want to get DJs and you want to get people laughing and you want to show that real intent. You can show that. So apologies for my dog, by the way. He's back. Apologies. He's back in the room. He was barking outside.
So you've got your £1,000. You've got your camera. You've got your lenses. You're going tripod. Anything else you're getting?
So tripod. If I can find a cheap gimbal to use, I will get that. Something stable, definitely. And then the next thing I would invest in is yourself.
Yeah.
So don't go out and buy stuff straight away.
Yeah.
Start shooting. If you don't know how to use your kit, you are going wrong.
Yeah.
So shoot every single day. Whatever you do, you have to shoot.
So,
you have to do something every day.
Leading on for that, what kind of mindset do you think you need if you are looking to go into this kind of industry, whether it's flying drones specifically, videography or photography?
So drones is like a new thing. Yes, if you've got money spare, like from the £1,000, if you've got money spare, buy a drone.
Yeah.
Just buy one, right? And like I said, just shoot as much as you can, fly as much as you can, get used to how to fly in it. In the end, where I am at the moment, I can fly in small situations, and like yesterday, I landed the drone between the two wires or whatever, so it's quite impressive. it was very, probably like an inch or something between the blades or whatever, but I did it. Sorry, my dog is moving the whole thing. Calm down.
So you flew the drone through the two propellers.
Yeah, not the two things. But yeah, if you've got £1,000, if you've got money spare over, buy a drone. More importantly, you have to invest in yourself. So you need to know before you shoot for anybody else, you need to shoot for yourself and do something every single day.
Right, okay.
And when you do that, that is when you're going to improve. And you got to look back, you got to come back, you got to edit, and you have to be like, that's what I want to do. That's where I went wrong. Or maybe if I shot this way, oh my God, this video would be amazing. Well, go back out and do it.
Yeah.
Not just be like, oh, that's it. I'm not going to think about it. No, go back out, shoot it, and be like, that's
the mindset you want to have.
You have to do that. But then again, another thing is the expectations.
Yeah.
So if you've got a client that you promise in, the world.
Yeah.
With basic kit, it's not going to happen.
No.
So you got to manage expectations to say, this is what I'm offering. This is how I will shoot it. This is the expectation. It will be a simple edit, or it will be this edit, depending on your skill level at that time. So you have to, like I said, invest. If you shoot, the more you shoot, the better you're going to get. But don't think that just because you shoot for a client, or you've done 10 shoots for a client, you're good. No one knows behind the scene, those 10 shoots probably took about 1,000 attempts to shoot those 10 shoots well.
Exactly.
Do you understand? If
I know what you're saying.
For me, it's like, if I've got a chance to shoot something, I go out and I shoot it, and let it be, and come back and edit and be like, okay, that's what I've
wagging.
Yeah, that's what I shot. This is how I edited it, and this is how I'm going to do it. I started, because I didn't have a good enough, when I started again about 3 years ago, that's when I picked up after thing, I had to edit on my phone, which was actually, believe it or not, it was the XS Max.
Right, okay, got you.
So I was shooting the drone video on that, downloading on the phone and editing on
That's
the phone.
why I first started out doing everything on iMovie. Literally, I was filming on an iPhone. I used to do like travel videos and stuff, like when I used to go away from my missus, and then literally on the plane on the way back, I'd be on my phone just doing as much as I could in iMovie itself. Yeah, and it's a way you start. That's where you start. So you shoot, again, like I said, you that dog.
So
he's become viral now.
He will up. No, he doesn't listen.
No,
he's camera shy. When you do that for yourself, that you don't want to discount that effort. That that it looks good. And I read a quote the other day that it said something like, no one knows. So I think it was something to do with art or whatever, and people only care about the end product.
Yeah.
So with videography, it's art. So they only care about the end product, but no one knows the amount of effort it takes to make it look good. Yeah. So, okay, but if they only value in your end product, then, if they know that the effort that you put in is this, then they'll be like, oh, okay. That they don't care about it, then they would be like,
crack on with it all.
Yeah, then they would be like, well, the end product, of course, is good because you spend that much hours into it.
Yeah.
But an artist would never say the amount of time he's painted the same painting or same style over and over and over again. He won't say it. It's like, this is the art piece that's worth 50 fucking million.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's the way it goes sometimes. So you got to be like, okay, that's my art. It's out there.
Yeah.
That's what it's worth. and you've got to think, you've got to put in the hours yourself. No one's gonna sit there. Sorry,
Hello,
Mowgli. Mowgli.
Do you want to be on the podcast?
He is on the podcast. He's
Hello.
gonna be
You're
the
going to make a reel?
Da-
Make
da-
a reel with me?
down the lens mascot.
Just keep licking me constantly.
Good boy.
Next time we'll get a mic for you. Well, he's
Get a
sniffing my
GoPro on
armpit
him.
now. He's going around the back.
We should get a GoPro for him.
Hello. You like me now, Jim? Yeah. Hi. Hello. Oh. Hello. Oh. What the? Oh, I'm going to have to have a shower after this.
All right, Mowgli, come here.
Goodbye.
Come on.
Down. Do you want to say hello? Say hello.
He doesn't speak. He only speaks when he's alone. Like barks. Come here then.
Where are you going now?
Come here then. Good boy. Come on, back you go.
So Mowgli doesn't call it absolute carnage. What advice would you give to a videographer or photographer looking to start out basically within the industry?
Manage your expectations, your own expectations, because it is a learning. Every shoot is a learning. You can't just be out there and be the best possible just because you got the kit.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Whether you start out with £1,000 in your pocket or whether you start out with a £10,000 in your pocket, you've got to manage those expectations to say, this is my skill level. I need to improve my skill level first in order to give whatever I can to others. So if you're just starting out, work, and work.
And to keep working.
Literally as much as you can. Don't put Rihanna's song in this, right? Work, don't do it. But you've got to work and you want to be successful regardless that's, filming, photography, within creative industry, artists, whatever. You have to work hard.
That's great.
That is the only way you can guarantee that success.
Yeah.
If you don't work hard and be like you've got all the talent in the world, you're not going to get anywhere. Whereas I think 20 minutes a day, I think about at minimum 20 minutes a day, I think about how I can improve myself.
Yeah.
Whether that's emotionally in a situation or a bad situation or a good situation, or whether that's mentally on a shoot, or whether that's about my shoot, or whether that's editing or something. There's always constantly something I'm thinking about. And like I said, you have to be almost insane. And everybody's got to think that there's something wrong with you. All my family think that. They're like, you're fucking weird. Why are you doing this? You've got a great career, ahead of you as a civil engineer.
That's not what you want to do.
But it's not where my heart is. So I'm like, hang on a minute. That's not where I am, and that's not where my work is. So for me to film is happiness. And for me to get happiness, the best way possible is for me to work hard within that.
Got you.
And that is the only way to success. So if you're going to think that you're just starting out and nothing's really happening for you, so you're going to give up, what I say is when you think you want to give up is when exactly you shouldn't give up. Is when you should like advice. Triple down on your efforts. Triple down.
And what's final question? What's going to be? What are you kind of aim for the future? What's going to be the main focus for Wolf Get Media? So
for Wolf Get Media, I'd like a little bit of a team.
Yeah, I'd love that as well. It's just trusting someone on your work in it. But that's, I guess, like a podcast like this is good for networking. Like we've never physically met each other, but we've always spoke to each other. Yeah, but we never worked with each other. No. So I think that is the next move. So I'd love to, like I said, I'd love to have you on the shoot or something. It would be nice, providing you don't charge me an arm and a leg. I'm sure. I think your rates are more than mine, so I need to boost my rates up. I don't think so. I don't think my rates are more than yours, and I think they're reasonable. For any videographer starting. So if you got the same kit, charge. There is a minimum that you should charge. Yeah. Okay, and I'm not going to say how much it is, but I think you should charge if you've got. If you've got an FX3 or something and you're making a Netflix film for 250 quid, that's not going to work. Yeah. If you've got a crop sensor camera and you're making a music video for 250 quid, great. Yeah. If you're making, if you've got the kit I've got, it's like multiple lenses, drones, stuff like that. A regular music video, like a rap video, whatever. Yeah. I would charge £1,000, and that's why I don't get any, because
those rappers are not going to be able to afford $1,000 out of their pocket to make a music video.
Yeah, they just can't do it.
They can't do it. And for me to be able to think about music, and that's how I edit as well, is that I would listen to the music, I would listen to the beat and how it needs to be edited. And then I'd be like, okay, this music makes me feel like this way. So when I shoot it, I will have headphones in and I would listen to it while I'm shooting or whatever. Whether that's someone performing or whatever. So I do it that way. And sometimes artists are weird where they and sometimes their song is just way too fast. I'm not sure if you heard have you heard Otis by Kanye West and Jay-Z?
Yeah.
So have you seen the music video?
No.
So the way they've shot it is you can see it, and they've slowed it down in the video. So the way they've rapped probably 4 times faster.
I've seen music videos where they've done that. I just haven't seen this particular one. But because if they want to slow it down, they got to in real time. They got to film it 4 times faster. Yeah.
So that's how they've done that that music video, and I've gotten inspired from it, and I tried to do it on a.
Was it solid?
It was, because the artist just couldn't. The artist just couldn't do it.
Music avenue like 3-4 times faster. That basically sounds like a high pitched, like squeaky Malvin and the Chipmunks.
Yeah, but
kind of thing.
I managed to do it so the pitch was the same, so they know what's happening. But it was just so fast. The music wasn't fast, but the guy had to perform it really fast
on the guitar or whatever he was using. Yeah,
and he had to like really do it fast. And he tried, and I said, "Look, I know it's difficult."
Yeah,
and I think. I said, you know what, instead of 4 times, let me do it 2 times. Yeah. So instead of shooting it 25 frames, instead of shooting 100 frames, I said, I'll shoot it 50 frames per second and I'll slow it down twice. Yeah. I think that would be more manageable. And he did that, and that was way more manageable. So, like I said, you've got to work hard, manage your expectations, and you have your mindset within it. And if you're starting out, be in it, be in that moment.
So for people watching and listening, where can they find you if they want to go and check out your content?
Instagram is the best place for me. Wolfgert.media. If you just type in Wolfgert. It should just come up, or even just Wolfgert. I think it would just come up. I have a website. It's not up to date, but it will be soon. And I'm on Facebook.
Thank you very much for coming on. It's been a pleasure.
And it's been an honor being your first guest on this.
You are my first official guest.
Yeah, on this amazing podcast. So I'm really looking forward to where you go. And your work is amazing. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for coming on. Cheers.
Thanks all.